Right, welcome back to Thursday Night Live. You Gaz Ben on the That Number podcast. Excuse me. Going to start with this because it is massive news. And there's Paul Rowley stepping down with immediate effect. Very, very odd considering we've got the derby tomorrow.
It's very strange, the timing. It's very, very odd.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is that something must have come to a head, whether it's players, whether it's Rowley himself. There's obviously been some sort of something's happened in the last day or two where it just couldn't wait any longer, obviously. And if it is kind of weird timing, but if that writing's on the wall, I always say you just do it as soon as possible. There's no point, going into a game where he knows it's going to be his last game. It's not productive, I don't think, for anyone. So
yeah, it's going to half-ass it, isn't it?
Yeah. So well, for me, welcome news. Unfortunately,
yeah.
It just didn't work. It didn't work. It wasn't working.
He did have a tough job considering he didn't have a team the whole time he's been here.
He did, but again, there's a lot of stuff he could have done and he didn't, and it's all on him that he didn't do them. It wasn't ever a terrible relationship with the fans, but there was never a great one. He never warmed himself to people. He always came off quite cold for me and very standoffish, especially with how he dealt with the press and the media. And I said it. What did I say a few weeks ago when he comes out with that outside noise comment? And I said that is game over. As soon as you start doing that. All you had to do was just apologise, say we're going to get better. It's not, you don't need media training for that type of thing. And it was just kind of really nailed down to me that he didn't get where he was. That's what really nailed that down. I don't think he ever truly understood what this job was and what he was here to do. And, tough injuries, but again, some of our best performances, there weren't many, but some of the best ones were the ones where half the team was out. Lot, some of the worst performances were when we had some of the, a lot of very good players still in that team. And the style of play, you can play like that with anyone. He had a much worse team at Salford last year, much worse than even our injury-ravaged side. They still managed to play good rugby. So if he was trying in the right ways and failing, I'm sure he'd have had a lot more patience, but there were things he could have done he didn't. Rumours of divisions in the squad, and we don't know who, what, where, so we can't talk about it in any detail. But if it's true, that's part of a coach's job too, unfortunately, to get people behind you, to be a leader. And that shows that he wasn't the right leader for this group of players. So it's harsh, but I'm kind of glad in a way because too long we have just put up with things not being good enough, and we need to be cutthroat. It's not, it's not a nice thing to do. Oh, we got to get rid of a coach who's had injury trouble all year. Well, it's not a charity. We're a professional sports organisation who have high standards, and I don't think he just never got it. I just don't think he got it ever, unfortunately.
Well, I've likened it to when David Moyes took over Man United after Alex Ferguson. He did great at Everton and Preston. Going to a job like that, maybe a step of three too far for him.
And not even that. Right. And I think if he'd have come at a different point and the club was at a different point on and off the field, it could have worked. It was just and it's easy to say in hindsight, but it was just a perfect storm of the wrong person at absolutely the wrong time with the wrong players. It just was. It was. I think we had hope that, for me, because I thought he was a really good man for the job because of where the squad was at. Because I'm the first person to bang on that this squad is not at the level people think it is. But I thought that Rowley would shine because of that, because he's had much worse squads and
don't tell me this is starting again.
And done well with them. He's normally good with backs against the wall stuff. That's normally where he thrives. So I thought, the squad needs a lot of improvement, but Rowley can get performances out of some, being blunt here, some very average players. He can get the best out of them. So I thought he would suit a squad in turmoil. I actually thought he'd be the perfect guy for a squad in turmoil. And I'm very surprised he has not rallied this team, and he's not got the reaction and the effort levels. And some of it's on players, of course it is. But that is the coach's remit at the end of the day, to get the best out of them. And you can give some blame to players for not putting all the effort they could have in, but then you also have to go, well, why aren't they putting that effort in? Because a good coach can get everyone playing at 100% for them. So why weren't they? It's
look at Justin Holbrook. He came in
to a
knackered side.
Yeah,
turn it around within a week. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's that type of thing. It's like, the squad isn't great. Yes, the squad isn't this championship winning squad, but it's a lot better than anything he's ever had. Even with injuries, it's better than anything he's ever had. And it's just not good enough, unfortunately. I think that from what I'm hearing, it was the fact that the players weren't fully behind him. I think if the players collectively, everyone was on the same page, we were working towards a goal, and we were just trying but failing. We were going in the right direction. We were stumbling. We saw Wellens. Wellens got a lot of time, more than people thought he should. And do you know why? The players loved him. Players loved playing for him, and that's why he got that time.
Yeah.
And that
magic last year when Wellesby kicked off.
Yeah, magic last year, where by all accounts Paul was ready to step away, and the players rallied.
Yeah.
And no, absolutely not. No, you're not. That comes down to Rowley in a way. It's a bit of players, but also it's a lot of the same players who, even with all the struggles we had as a team, quality-wise, were still breaking the necks for the coach last year. So why weren't they doing it this year? Unfortunately, whether that's fair or not, that comes down to a coach and his leadership abilities, and he just didn't show them. You couple that in with the style of play, which he promised, bare minimum, no matter what, we're going to play good rugby. We've not played good rugby all year for the most part. You then add in the media comments. You then add in, the fact that he never got that warm. He never built a good, connection with the fans. He never went out of his way to get us to love him like we've loved other coaches. It was just too many things stacking up at once, I think, for him. And I think this was, rather than
this is a good shout, to be honest.
Rather than just see it become really ugly and horrible, like we saw with other coaches where they stayed past the point of no return. At least we end it where we can just wish him well. No doubt he's tried, and we'll never claim that he's not come and put 100% in. It's just the wrong ideas and the wrong man, unfortunately for him. So at least now it hasn't got, because after Toulouse, I was thinking a couple more like this, and this gets ugly really, really, really quickly. And we don't want that. We don't want open civil war because it's been bubbling. It's been bubbling away. So I think it's right. It's right to do it now. It's right that
even now. Even now, them going still dividing the fan base.
Yeah.
And we just need to, by the way, Adam or Aiden, are we glitching for you, or is it just at my end? Because I'm all over the place here.
I'm not glitching.
No, it might just be my end, which I can find. I can live with that. As long as it's okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I've got you.
Yeah.
Oh, that last comment as well. He was fully on board for England as well at one point, wasn't he? I believe Yeah, 100% on board when he wanted the England job.
Yeah.
Was he actually? Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point to raise. You got to think as well. I come back to this too. If you remember at Salford, he'd agreed to step down to become director of rugby, so he already had his eyes of not coaching. And what's happened is that the biggest club that's ever been interested in him has turned his head. So was his heart ever really fully in it? Because he was fully committed to stepping away from coaching in 2025. He was agreed he was going to become part of the backroom staff, higher ups at Salford. So was it the fact that he only coached in the first place because Saints was too good to turn down, and his heart was never really in it? Maybe that was it. It's a fair thing to think about.
Yeah, and it's best to let them go, innit?
Yeah, definitely. So I wouldn't be surprised if his next role is that type of director of rugby type of thing, and he does step away, because it seemed like he was pretty much done with coaching, and I think that showed. I think that's someone whose heart has just not been in it fully for me.
I think it was at the start, but as time's gone on, he sort of fell out of love with it a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's probably remembered why he wanted to step away from coaching in the first place. I think there's definitely a sense that that's happened to me. Like, that's definitely a sense that it, because it's all relevant when you think about it. There's no way you go from, I want to become a director of rugby now, and all of a sudden you fall back in love with coaching. It was the fact that it was Saints. If it was any other club, he probably would have just found another job somewhere else. And I think as time has gone on and it's been tougher than he expected, he's probably kind of realised, I don't want to do this. Like, because it does seem like there's a bit of six of one, half a dozen of the other, when it comes to, was he pushed? Did he jump? From what I'm hearing, it's a little bit of both,
Reading that, sounds like they've just got rid of it.
I think it's a bit of both.
We would like to thank Paul for his commitment and extreme hard work as our head coach. Yeah, he'll always be warmly welcomed at the club. I mean, speak for yourself there, Eamon. The decision was an extremely difficult one for all concerned, and we fully recognise the extra challenges Paul faced with us this particular season. We as a club now look forward to do all within our powers to preserve our position as the most successful club in the history of Super League, and to restore our position as a silverware contender going forward. St Helens RFC will make no further comment at this time. So, I mean, make of that what you will. That's coming from McManus.
It is what it is. It's time for a fresh start anyway. And I think what would be best, to be honest, I think it's probably best if Breers goes, if I'm being perfectly honest, because we've known,
we've not really seen the fruits of that labour.
We got at the end of the day, his remit is attack. It's been an ongoing problem over two coaches. Eamon O'Carroll's already leaving, who's been part of this setup, and everyone attached to this setup under Wellens and now under Rowley, we've known nothing really but failure. So if we're being I think we just need a complete reset. So I would, nothing against Lee in any way, but I just think it's probably at the right time that if the head coach is gone, one of the assistants is gone, I think a whole new backroom staff is the way to go. And the fact that Eamon O'Carroll is the one who's the interim coach and not Lee probably leads me to think
I don't mind that. He's actually, he has got some experience and he has experience as a head coach.
So we'll see. Anyway, it'll be very telling how the players perform tomorrow. It'll give it away immediately as to whether there was division. Because if they come out like a house on, even if they don't win, we've got a lot of players missing. But if they come out like a house on fire, then that tells you there was something wrong behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's same old effort-wise, then God, we've got a real problem on our hands. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, speaking of a reaction, I mean, that was a bit of a reaction when it to the previous game. A lot better, a lot more.
It's a really odd one to talk about, considering what the coach left right after this, where you thought not a corner had been turned because, Catalan are an awful side at the moment. Really bad side. And, we weren't very good in the first half. But, hey, we dug in. We got a win. Some of the more experienced players who have let us down a little bit at times put some performances in for the first. So I want to go as far as turning a corner, but it felt like, a bit of positivity now, bit of something to build on, something to really grab hold of, and go, right, okay, it's a baby step. It's a tiny baby step, but we can work with this. Right, what do we do now? So just very, very strict, like, I don't know whether it's going to have any bearing now because of Rowley leaving. It's just a really odd kind of thing to talk about, knowing that he left. Just like you said, the timing, it's just really, really, really weird.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon these players knew what was coming?
I mean, I don't think something like this happens overnight. So I think the senior players, I would guess, and it's a guess, it's only a guess, would have known, I think, that we were heading this way. So it doesn't happen overnight, and people speak, people talk. No. And, from what I've heard, conversations were had with players allegedly by people high up at the club who said they weren't happy. And again, only a rumor, but from what I've heard, it wasn't, it wasn't just all the experience, the leadership group as they have at Saints. It wasn't like just them throwing the weight around. Apparently, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that were on Rowley's side. Apparently, it was the fact that a number of the younger lads were complaining, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Allegedly, is the younger
the future of the club, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's one thing for people maybe past the best a bit, and maybe they don't have a lot left to say, I'm not happy. But when it's like top to bottom, there's not that everyone top to bottom wasn't happy, but when there's different younger players and older players, experienced and inexperienced, I can kind of understand why that might have tipped the scales, if that is true. But we have to wait and see what comes out in the future, and just, all we know is that he's gone, and that's all we can say for definite. And that it wasn't good enough performance-wise for most of it. If it was the club pushing him, because we don't know, it seems like a bit of both. But if it was, I'm going to actually commend him, because this is the type of cutthroat, high standards that's been missing from the club since the first month.
We've been far too sentimental for years now.
Since February 2023 in Penrith, we have been just no standards anywhere at the club. So you know what? If they have done that, then fair enough, because that is a ballsy thing to do at this point in the season.
Yeah,
and that's the type of action, that we haven't seen when it comes to coaches at this club. For me, we are always way too lenient with them. So I would say fair enough if they have done. Now, you've got to get it right now and what comes next, but fair enough, because, injuries or no injuries, we've had, I'm sure, plenty of teams in the last 40 years have had injuries, yet none of them have lost by that much at home to a team not even in the top half of the table. So, I do find it odd he wasn't just gone after Toulouse, though. I do find that, I don't know if maybe there was talks going on, they needed to get everyone's viewpoints from the players, and you have to consider it and not rush into it. I do get that, but anyway, Catalan, it feels just weird talking about it, but young lads again, well done.
Yeah.
Stood up well.
Jack
well done
Campbell.
to Campbell. Well done to Campbell. Took his tries very, very well. Sailor at centre, don't like it defensively, but I thought he was actually able to show a lot in attack. And all it makes me think is, and I'm going to come back to it, Jack Wellesby at centre. If that's what Sailor can do at centre, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm going to come to this in a bit.
I am telling you that is Jack Wellesby's position, but that's my. But yeah, that worked overall. I don't think defensively Sailor at centre should be tried because it was a bit leaky, but he got to show a lot more of himself in attack. It looked like he was a bit more natural for him. Forward stood up, DSF finally. He's shown up. All full credit to him. That's what he needs to do every week. He showed up massively in that game. Host showed up again.
And this week he didn't end up in a disciplinary this week either.
He didn't as well. Very good. Yeah, very good. Wellesby, second half was the best 40 minutes of rugby he's played in about 3 years. So very encouraging. Again, Sirin in a lot of time out of position at prop, needs to be commended. Good performance there. Defensively was a bit shaky, but again, with that many players out, you can understand it a little bit. Nothing too worrying, other than just a couple of we've got to be a bit better, like expecting offloads, because it was a very apparent from like minute 4 that Catalan were going to try and offload in every tackle, and we didn't really get the memo. But that's being a bit harsh. They stood up well, they played well. Young lads keep doing themselves proud. The experienced ones had the heads switched back on. And again, I know only Catalan with some of the worst defence I've seen in a long time, but the attack looked a lot more fluid in that second half anyway. We actually put some good pieces of play together with the ball. So overall, a good positive to go into next week. Although, more injuries. More injuries.
Which we'll go into in a bit again. We've got segments for this stuff now, so we don't just ramble, we separate it all. But another lad, Tom Humphries, he's
James Roby,
edging Jake Burns out more and more by the week.
As I call him now, Mr. James Roby II. No, I'm only messing. I'm not going to put that pressure on him.
There's some shoes to fill.
I've said this since his little stint at Hull, where he did a couple of good runs in the Hull half. I remember, when you just know someone has got something about him as a young player, even if they're not the best player in the world right now. You see, it's hard to sometimes describe in detail. It's just a feeling you get. You get a feeling from some players. You don't know exactly how good they're going to be, but this isn't someone who's going to, play 3 games, go to the championship, and end up at Blackbrook. He's got something. Yeah. This is a super league player.
It's just him putting the work in.
I think I love his directness. All it's made me think is it's such a shame that Clark has got injured when he has, because incorporating Humphries more and spelling Clark, that could have been a deadly 1-2 at the end of the season. Hopefully we see that at the beginning of next season. Because right now I think he's perfect for the old Roby. When Roby was the understudy to Cunningham, put him on 10, 15 minutes at the end of each half to just run. Because I love how even when he passes the ball, he isn't sloppy and slow with it. He's up, bam, direct. Draws the markers in. I've been so sick of this with other people playing hooker. He actually knows how to draw the markers into a tackle and then pass the ball to take them out of the equation. And his running game looks good. He looks like he's got a good amount of pace, and he's got a good sidestep on him. Only one game against Catalan.
That break as well.
Again, that break. The little kick as well. God, if he can bring a short kicking game into this team, we need a short kicking game. So I hope that's not a one-off.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he's, because that's a great asset to have. That changed how people defended against us when we had Coote in the side, who could, best short kicker of a ball I think I've ever seen, Lachlan Coote, by some distance.
Yeah.
Don't want to get carried away, but even before then, for me, he was showing up well. He's very deceptive because he looks very small. He looks tiny when you see him, but I didn't see issues physically with him in defence and taking the ball in. He wasn't bullied.
He wants to be in every tackle.
So I think if he fills out a little bit, all right, he's a bit short, but I think if he fills out a little bit, I can see a physical presence.
Cunningham works well.
Cunningham, when Cunningham filled out, he was like a little prop forward in the middle. And I kind of get the sense we could have something there. Again, we're not going to bag him if he plays badly for a few weeks. It's a young lad. They're not always going to be there. But I see something. And I said, and I've got no disrespect towards Jake Burns, because he talked about the lack of effort from some players, not from him. He has never disgraced himself like some players I was at Toulouse. I thought was a bit shocking, and he's never done anything like that. But in all the time he's played, I haven't ever had that kind of sense that Humphries gave me that in that game, where I saw a bit of magic. And that's not to bag Burns because he's a solid guy and he works hard, he defends well. But already I'm kind of thinking I already see a little bit more at this stage. And that's not to bag Jake, that's just a big Tom up of if you know, because Jake Burns is a good solid pro. So if I can, if you're already looking like a bit above that level already, well, I mean, fair play. That's just all credit to Tom Humphries because that is pretty. He's done really well so far. Long may it continue because we need it with Clarkey out anyway. So,
you mentioned injuries before. Before I put the squad up, I'll throw this in. So we know Sirenen's picked up an undisclosed injury according to Love Rugby League, but we've got 3 lads back now. I don't want Campbell to lose that spot, if I'm honest. But we desperately need Delaney there for bodies in the middle. Desperately.
Yeah, Delaney, absolutely. So just a shame Walmsley wasn't back too. But definitely needed in the middle, 100%. Sirenen is just such another one. Barely got injured before this season. And now he seems to be... And just like McDonald, never injured before he came to Saints, but the pair of them injured this season almost every other week, which is a big loss because Sirenen was one of the standouts and he's someone who can do a job at prop and we're light on props as well. So it's just we can't ever add to it. So
Delaney come in, isn't it?
Let's add Delaney to help Sirenen out. No, Sirenen's okay. So it's just like for like. Yeah. Right. So I wouldn't put Wright back in the squad, to be honest. If I'm being perfectly honest,
I wouldn't put Murphy in the whole thing. Not yet.
I think just because of how light we are bench-wise, I would have him in the squad, but I'd have him on the bench. I'd have Wright on the bench. I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't change. Yeah, I wouldn't change the wingers for a game like Wigan, especially when Murphy. He's had some stinkers against Wigan this year as well. I just don't think it's the right time to throw someone back into that environment away at Wigan with what. Just leave it a week. Leave it another week. I really would. Yeah. And I'd keep the young lads. I'd keep Douglas and Campbell just both back out there.
Yeah,
Douglas as well. He's
Campbell
ball carrying. Douglas is ball carrying. Considering he's like a small, nifty little type of winger with pace. He's ball carrying the meters he's making with the ball on the back foot near his own line. Really commendable job he's done, Jacob Douglas, because that wasn't something that anyone said was a strength of his. Everyone talks about, it's his pace if he gets broken play in open field, but he's doing the tough stuff, because he's he's in a position where it might not be the thing he's the best at, but he's had to go, I have to do it, no one else will. You can't expect a tiny 18-year-old kid to be the one making 80, 90 meters a game from the backfield. That's a bit of a harsh expectation. And fair play, Douglas is a fairly young lad himself still, and he's put his hand up and he's done that hard work from his own line in the last 2 games. Really good, really, really good. He definitely needs to stay in the team, 100%, 100.
And speaking of Douglas and his old team, the old enemy Wigan in the biggest game in rugby league. We'll call it that.
Can I just say something?
Don't upset people.
Right. Can I just say something here? RFL this again, Gaz. RFL. Right. Or Sky. Maybe it's Sky. Do you want to tell me why we have a rivals round 3 weeks after we had a Magic Weekend that was a rivals round?
Make it make sense.
Do you want to maybe put that rivals round maybe in September or at the end of August? Can you explain that one? We've just had unofficial rivals round. I don't know if they even called it that at Magic, but it was. It was the same fixtures. Why are we doing this only 3 weeks later? Anyone? Anyone in the chat, please help me. Right. Anyone at all wants to help me out with that one?
Right. I'm currently looking at the map for available seats for tomorrow. Normally, when there's a derby game, especially Wigan away, like 70% allocation sold out, 90%, 95%. Last few tickets, nothing, and that shows how how much the fans are turning. If they're not
But you know
getting
what
up
that
from
is?
Wigan away.
But you know what that is? That is a direct response to effort levels. Because we've had rough periods and we've had derbies where we know we're going to get battered and we fill it out, 2013, things like that. That is a direct response to, which I think is that I don't mind it because that'll get the club to notice, if anything. That is a response of that Toulouse type of performance. So hopefully, because we had something a bit more better, there's some more World Cups and people at the last minute. I'm very annoyed. I can't go, and that's just because I can't afford to go. So there is also that element. If we have a laugh about it, but a lot of people are, finding it tougher than ever day to day when it comes to the real world and budgeting and how expensive everything is. If they see that type of effort, I would think, well, hold on, I've got no, I'm down to like literally pennies when it comes to the day before payday. Like I could have, that's another meal. That's, I can buy this, I can buy that. That's petrol money. That's a serious type of thing you got to think about when you think about the impact, that those bad standards can have. Is that, this means a lot. This isn't millionaire tourists filling out stands. This is a working class town, and it's a heartbeat of the community. And I'm sorry, but that's on the players. I wouldn't blame fans at all for low ones. That is on you. That's on the club, because we have a lot of fans where people are, it's a privilege of a lot of people to come. It's not an easy thing. It's a sacrifice for a lot of people to go to our games, and you spit in their face performing like you did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm hoping that's a bit of a kick up the arse more than anything. I wouldn't have a go at fans on this one, because with everything that's going on in the world, with everything that's going on at the club, I can understand it. Normally, I would be a bit, now, come on, support the team. But I can't believe I'm saying it. I can genuinely understand it.
Yeah.
Because that's the decision I've had to make. I'm down to pennies after a tough week with my car dying every 3 weeks. And I've had to go, you know what, I want to be a bit more comfortable and not spend that money. It's just a harsh reality right now. So the least you can do, guys, is try as hard as you can, But again, that was 2 weeks ago, and it looked better last week against Catalans. So hopefully we get some last minute sales going through. We get a good attendance there. I'm not being, if I find 30 quid in a coat pocket in the next 24 hours, I'll be there. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going through all the old coats thinking I've not worn you since October. Come on. But whoever is there,
so we've got
get behind them more than anything. Here. If they show the effort of last week, no matter the result, really get behind them. There we go.
So there we go.
So,
I mean,
well, I said this before Catalan. I said before Catalan. Yeah, I said before the Catalan game, I wouldn't have even minded if we'd lost to Catalan with that many players out. I just wanted a performance with what you've got. Because we can judge as fans.
Bit of effort.
We can judge as fans better than people give fans credit for a lot of the time. What your best is. And you'll find not every fan is this. I don't care. I want to win every game. I'd expect nothing less. Like, you'd be surprised how reasonable people are as a fan base if you just show them as much as you probably do. So score a few tries, defend hard, chase every last little thing down, even if you go down by a few scores and there's 1 minute left. Try to the final whistle, and you won't have fans kicking off. You'll have people behind you. You will. Yeah. This fan base will get behind him. I really do think that. So don't have to win tomorrow at all.
Other than that alleged attempt at a penalty kick late on at Magic, can't really argue, really, can you? I mean, obviously, there's bits and pieces in defence that we could have done better, but it's not a perfect world, is it?
Listen, if they show something like Magic, that's fine with me. Don't mind that.
Yeah.
But I maintain, yes, even with a lot, and okay, Wigan don't have as many players out as we do, but Wigan have quite a few players out too, right? I'm not accepting 70 odd nil. People are going, well, it'll be like this could be like 50, 60, 70. Why? I'm not having that. Sorry. No, I don't. It's a weak team and it should lose, but there's no way that should be getting 60-0, 70-0. Like, no way. So we have to have some standards. It's not winning or losing, it's how you win, how you lose.
Yeah.
So as long as they lose in the right way.
I said all last season.
Not
it's not the fact we were losing, it's the manner in which we were losing.
It's the manner, yeah. So just show 100% balls to the fucking walls. I want
to see them blowing up their asses.
Yeah, I want to see that type of thing. If we're 30 points to 10 down with 2 minutes to go and the kick goes through, I want them chasing that like it's 0-0 at minute 1. Yeah. And that's the type of effort level. Do that from 0 to 80 and you will get applauded off that pitch no matter what. So,
yeah.
Let's hope we've got it. Let's hope that the players that had a bit of an issue with Rowley, or if that is true, you know what? Whether you think players should be doing that or not, right, he's gone now. You've got what you wanted, some of them. Just go out there and do the best you can now. Come on. That's what I'd be saying. Like, fresh start, new chapter, start it off as we mean to go on. Because this is day 1 now of the next chapter of this club. So
it's the first game of the rest of the season.
Yeah. So start as you mean to go on in terms of standards. So, and who knows, we could get close to win. We got close at Magic, didn't we? So we could have won. Yeah. We could have won at Magic, even if we weren't great in any way, skill-wise. We still could have done it. So let's go out there with that mentality that we can catch them cold here. They might underestimate us. They're not going to expect
That's what I'm thinking.
You know, try and catch them cold and go out there and, you know, play with some pride.
Because spot on there, not the kids will play with pride.
The enthusiasm and energy is what you get more than anything. Yes, you don't have the experience. Yes, you don't have the skills fully honed and things like that. But the one thing a really young lad will give you in rugby is that no one will try as hard as him. Absolutely no one will try as hard as him. Again, whether the skill is enough and whether the physicality is enough, that's a different question. But at the very least, you don't have to worry about that tick box. That's ticked. No one will give you enthusiasm like a young lad playing for a career. So,
like I keep saying about Humphreys, every time he's played the ball, he's looking to get involved in the tackle.
Yeah,
he's putting that hard work in, and that's what we notice more than anything else. You can throw all these like little flick passes around and little chip kicks or whatever. If you're running yourself into the ground,
that's the point I was making with Douglas. That's why I wanted to speak about Douglas before, because he's not had a lot of good ball. He's not had a lot of chance to show anything in attack. So has he just gone, oh, well, ball's not coming to me, hand in me pockets. He's looking for work.
He's putting himself in the game.
He's gone, if I'm not going to get the ball in attack, I still need to impact this game and touch the ball. So every time we're in our own half, he puts his hand up for a drive. I'll give the forwards a rest. You can always try to get in, try to do more. And you, like you said, guys, you notice that. If you a winger who might not get any good ball in attack and have no chance of scoring, we will notice if you go looking for work. If you go, well, if I'm not going to get the ball, I'm going to go get the ball. That type of mentality.
It's what Ferguson used to do as well. If the ball weren't going out to him, he'd come inside and do something.
And even sometimes, we'd be far up the pitch, and he'd still go, "I've not had the ball. Like I'm going to go and get the ball." Yeah. You'd see it a lot from him. So we do notice it definitely.
Yeah, spot on. Speak of the young lads, they didn't have the best time this week, so it's the only other game I've found.
The reserves,
absolutely trounced by the Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Maybe Huddersfield need to start playing their reserves instead of full team.
Honestly, without pathetic some of their performances have been, I'm surprised some more of those lads haven't been called up for a game, to be honest. It's a good point. I'm not even joking, man. It's a good point. I mean, I know the reserve squad has had a lot of disruption, people going up and down from, first team to reserves, academy lads and stuff. And I know they've done it tough numbers wise, but it is one that the club, you need as strong as reserve as possible, because if the injury crisis gets any worse, they're the players we're calling up. You know what I mean?
A lot of our reserves are in the first team now.
They are, and to be fair, like I said, that has impacted the reserves because they don't have a lot of their reserves because they're in the first team at the moment. But it's one that the club, I think, I wouldn't disregard that as no big deal.
That's not the end of the world, is it?
But it's not the end of the world. But I also think it's not like it's no big deal at all. That is something that is a bit of a warning sign for standards. Obviously, they get a bit of let off because half the squad's the first team. I get it, but that needs to be looked at next year, how we fill our reserves, because has been a bit worrying this season. Because you wouldn't want to rely on many of them at this point who are already there. Again, granted, a good 4 or 5 of them are here now anyway. So, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So this is something I really want to talk about now. We've had this argument of, where should Wales be in Sale go? Which is it 6-1 or 1-6, whatever.
Yeah.
But Harry Robertson has thrown himself into that conversation now.
Yes.
Now, is this a blessing or a curse? Because we've got 3 lads who can play 6, 3 who can play 1, and we've got 3 that can play in the centre as well.
I was thinking this because we should have mentioned it actually, because I forgot to bring it up when we're talking about the game, but Robertson has looked the most comfortable he's looked in a year and a half playing at 6.
He looked a lot more effective at 6.
He just looked like he was comfortable there. Like he's played some good games at centre. Obviously, last season, he was Young Player of the Year or whatever it was playing at centre.
Yeah,
but he always looks a bit unnatural with how he moves, and he doesn't look like he feels fully like he doesn't fully click in that position.
Yeah.
Even when he wasn't doing anything flashy at 6, though, in that game at Catalans, he just looked like that was where he should play. So, yeah, it's good and it's bad because it makes this already annoying thing we've got going on even worse, because I genuinely, at the moment...
You've got 3 players you can switch around there.
Yeah. I mean, I would have Saylor at full-back, Welsby at centre, Robertson at 6. It's never going to happen because...
And you know what? You're never going to get 3 people agreeing on that.
Yeah, but I also think I just get the sense that Welsby he's playing fullback or he's not playing. I get that sense that he's one of those type of players. I just don't think he'd want. I think he would if he was like forced to, obviously, but I think it's something he would push back on, and I don't think it's something he would enjoy doing. But
I'll tell you something else as well. The amount of time I put into putting these graphics together, I only flash them up for 5 seconds.
It all adds to the experience. To the experience.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, I think I have been told Wales is one of them where he needs the arm around. It's like, you're my main man. This is your position.
Yeah.
No one's taking this from you unless you're injured. And it's like, no, if you end of the day, you're employed by the club. If you have to do a job somewhere, you go and do it, and you don't throw your toys out the pram. But that being said, he had a much better game against Catalan.
He did. Second half, best half he's played in a long time. So,
and I'll tell you this now: the club have said to him, "What was that about? No, you need to make that right." There's no way he's going. Oh, it's only just no, he wasn't. I can tell by his face.
Yeah,
but in the moments, I weren't bothered because we scored.
Yeah, he made those comments, didn't he?
It
wasn't really at fans. It was just there's been a lot of noise. So to be fair, it might have been aimed at the media. It's a fair point because Scully the day before, after Toulouse ripped them to shreds. And I actually thought when Sirinin did a bit of it, I interpreted that as he was doing it to Scully because he named Sirinin. He directly named him in his article and said nowhere near good enough. So I kind of thought Sirinin was doing that to Scully, but I don't know. I don't know.
The Hastings actually went, "Where's the booze now?"
He did. He could pick it up at the end of the game, walking towards Rowley. Yeah. You know what? I have this opinion.
Unless he's having a pop at Rowley for that, saying, "Well, where are they now?"
You know what? Turned up. I don't. For me, it's one of them. If it gets them playing, if that's what fires them up, and we win rugby league games, whatever. It's not how I would like them to react, but at the end of the day, what matters now.
The main thing is 2 points on the table.
It's performance, and it's the 2 points. So, that is a bigger question about culture and stuff, and are we doing everything off the fit? That's right now. We're more than halfway through a season. If fine, whatever. if you keep playing well and you think you're sticking it to us, come and stick it to us, whatever. Because I'll be happy because we'll be winning games, so I don't care.
That's it.
Just let's just get these performances on where they need to be.
I think knowing Wellesby's temperaments, and I can see why it's come across as like, oh, he's giving us that basically.
Yeah.
And I think he did know what he was doing. And I think the club have said to him, Jack, come on.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, all we ask for is effort.
But
as long as we see a bit of effort tomorrow, I'm not bothered.
Obviously it's not all Paul Rowley's fault, but the fact that he's gone, I'm hoping that all the players can just use this as a fresh start moment, a line in the sand. No matter who's at fault for what, it doesn't matter.
Motivate them a bit.
What's happened has happened. He's gone. You're here, and let's draw a line in the sand and start off as if it's the beginning of the season now, and let's just put it all behind us and just crack on because we all want the same thing. So,
right. Before we go in predictions, Ben, I'm going to plug a couple of things here. The Charity Bowls is back on the 8th of August. Now at Nalgo or Unison, whatever you want to call it, instead of Ruskin. I've got the list of people who are playing. So you've got Darryl Clark, Gary Connolly, Paul Loughlin, Mickey Iam, Benny Westwood, Tommy Martin, Eamon McManus, Derek Beaumont, Adam Fogarty, Andy Reid, as local people will know who Andy Reid is.
Yeah, you all know Andy.
We've got two lads from Coronation Street, Jonathan Piercy and Jude Rio. I can't pronounce his second name, young lad. Ashley Taylor Dawson from Hollyoaks. He gets involved at quite a lot. Ex-Liverpool player David Fairclough. And two were announced today. Eddie Hemmings and Johnny Vegas have been announced. And the headliner, who has brought in a £4,500 bid to play alongside him, is Sir Kevin Sinfield. Just got to bring to that, innit? Sir Kevin Sinfield.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So now this is going to be half to Steve Prescott Foundation and half to MND, which two brilliant causes in rugby league.
Yeah.
I'll be down there. I've spoke to Martin about it. Maybe doing a bit of media work. We'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
So and it's free entry as well. Get yourselves down. Watch some.
You can't argue with that.
Balls.
Can't argue with that. It's free.
Watch some rugby players play balls. So it's a laugh. I went last year. It was a laugh. And the Bryn Hargreaves game returns. This time it's in Widnes.
Awesome.
You've got the Bryn Hargreaves All Stars, which I believe I've been asked to play for, if you can believe that one.
Oh, aye.
Against New Zealand Masters. Before that, there's Widnes Bunnies against Warrington Maroons. So you've got a little local derby going on as well. So keep your eye on that. That is on the 14th of November at West Bank Bears in Widnes. And then this next week, some people might not want to be there, but I'll be there. I have been granted approval to set up by the tunnel when they finish doing all the signing and stuff like that, and to have little chats with the players. So keep your eye out on that one. It's hard work, this, Ben. Not gonna lie.
It is hard work.
Predictions.
Predictions, indeed.
Yep. Not. Oh, hang on. I don't think any of us have got the same ones going on there. So that could have ramifications on the table. So, talk us through yours there, Ben.
Right, I'm just trying to get the full fixtures up because I can't bloody remember.
I've got them here. So
I know obviously it's rivals.
Yeah. So you've got FCKR.
Some of them aren't real rivalries, so I always forget. Ooh.
Like Warrington and Lee.
Yeah, that big rivalry. Yeah, I mean, KR Hull FC. I mean, again, Tom, he's on. He's a Hull FC fan secretly. Because it was last week, wasn't it? It was him predicting them against someone. I mean, they're obviously
they're back as well.
Yeah, they're obviously not going to beat Hull KR. I don't know. They're just not going to beat all KR.
They're not a one-man team in Michael Lewis, are they? They've got class all over the pitch.
No.
Tyrone May, for example.
And you know what? I'll hold my hands up and call myself an idiot to start next week's show, but I just think it's going to be, even with KR's turmoil, they're still quite a bit better than FC. But we'll see. Obviously, I know you two have gone with your heart there, but I mean, I think it's pretty nailed on that Wigan are going to win with how many players we've got out. So that was my thinking on that one.
Didn't you?
Yeah. But this is a much better team. This is a much better team. So, Wakey are the form team.
Do Wakey have a shot at Old Trafford? I mean, are they going to roll the nerve in the playoffs?
I think they've got the form team at the moment, so you can never discount them. I think home as well. Cass are just a mess at the moment as well. Obviously, recently they've had some success, and I can't see them doing that back to back. If anything, I think it's more likely that I've taken a lot out of them. What happened at Leeds, so I mean, I'd love to be wrong and it to be a really good game, but I actually think that they might be running a bit on fumes coming into this one. Huddersfield are a mess, so York are going to win. That's that game. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's much to add, is there, for that one? Warrington are a mess, so Lee are going to win. It's home advantage, I'd say. Probably
Toulouse actually the informed team for me.
Toulouse are very informed, and Catalans are the biggest mess of messes. So for me, it's a lot of very straightforward. I actually think this is really straightforward. I know I've said that before. I could be wrong.
I mean,
but Leeds at home to Bradford.
Bradford have got 15 players out at least.
15 players. Leeds are playing at home. They're going to be desperate for a reaction after the Cass game. So that's going to be a rough one for Bradford, I think. I think the closest ones are potentially the Hull derby, potentially our game, and then maybe Lee Warrington could be close to. I'd say maybe they're the closest games, but
I'm going to put the Hull one as the
games, so.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the old one as the game of the round.
Yeah, I think so. But
and consulting the table on the Predictor League, you are second on 359 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on 382. So that fuck up in the first game's irrelevant now.
Exactly. It's a fair point.
There we go. Yep. I think that about wraps it up, Ben. Unless there's anything happening that we've not seen.
No, I think that's that. Yeah.
Just on a little look here. Young back rower Harvey Bradish has gone to Rochdale on permanent.
It's an interesting one.
I know he was quite highly thought of in the academy there, but Joe Batchelor will make his 200th appearance if he plays. We all know the 2 years he had with us where he was unbelievable. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, so I think that's it, to be fair.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week. Episode 100 is on its way very, very quickly. And I'm working on something for that. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll find out more next week. So, appreciate everyone coming in and commenting and putting your thoughts across it. We'll listen to all of them, whether it's good or bad. You want to agree with us or tell us we're a pair of dickheads. We'll listen to all of it and we'll take it all in. So, keep doing that for us. And, so we'll be back next week.
We shall be.